You know, the other day I was carrying on life like usual. Started my morning routine. I got up, stumbled out of bed, got myself ready for the day, and then I walked my two dogs. Now, I have two small dogs, and when they do their business typically is the size that matches a small animal. Although once in a while, they will surprise me, and on this day, surprise me, they did. But as I'm picking up this comically large turd that probably shouldn't come out of an animal of that size, I suddenly thought about NoMan'sSky. Let's discuss this. Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is AJ. So today we are going to be discussing one of the most hyped up games to grace the 8th generation of gaming, and that is NoMan'sSky. We're going to be looking at its reveal, its release, and finally its aftermath. For those of you who don't know, NoMan'sSky is the creation of developer Hello Games that was announced on December 2013. As an action-adventure survival game set on an alien world with different planets to explore, NoMan'sSky set itself out to be unique amongst other games of its genre by being predominantly run by procedural generation. Long story short, with the help of an algorithm, the game takes a preset number of already built-in assets and randomizes them in order to create a seemingly infinite number of unique planets with their own unique lifeforms. In addition to this, an aspect that also stood out was the ability to travel from planet to planet in a somewhat real-time fashion. While most games would opt for time-saving cutscenes in between different locations, NoMan'sSky promised an immersion-defining style of traversing the vast universe. While this was definitely great on its own, what really drew a lot of players in was the promise of an online connected universe that was immensely vast. Even if you and a buddy were online, the chances of meeting up were almost impossible. So with this, NoMan'sSky would surely go on to be Game of the Year, right? Right? Well, upon its release in August of 2016, most of the promises Hello Games made fell apart faster than EDP 445's career. Compared to what was seen in trailers, the game felt a bit empty. While this game lacked a traditional story, opting to focus more on a build-your-own-adventure sandbox, a lot of the elements that we're most hyped for were lackluster at best. I should also note that the procedural generation in this game, while promising, was also limited to whatever space the game files had as far as assets to pull from. And of course, our main issues. The combat was practically non-existent. The online connectivity was non-existent. While it was still technically impossible to experience all 18 quintillion planets, I don't think it was necessary, as the procedurally generated planets started to get a little repetitive. NoMan'sSky. More like No Man's Lie, am I right?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
To say that this game received a fair amount of backlash would be an understatement. Even the UK's ASA, the Advertising Standard Authority, investigated Hello Games due to complaints about false advertising. They would, however, ultimately be cleared of all false advertising claims, as it was decided that due to the game's procedural generation, it was almost impossible to mirror everything that was seen in trailers. How convenient. Basic features and actions were, for the most part, the same as advertised. Now, while I could go the conspiracy theory route and speculate that obvious parts of the game that were shown back in 2013 were specifically engineered to garner more attention, and that the unpredictable nature of procedural generation could be used as a get-out-of-jail-free card due to lack of solid proof, I won't state that as a fact.
Even NoMan'sSky, they purported to have a randomly generated planet at the beginning.
I think people watching this would wonder why you're showing this area again. Like, what's so special about demoing the game on this planet?
Oh, no, it's just a place that looks nice.
But after some data mining, people confirmed that that planet was actually created for the demo. You know, by artists and programmers to be a certain way. Generated, but most certainly not randomly. Generated by the creative process. You know, like that.
Motherfucker. Now here is the part of the video where we can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'll give credit where credit is due. Over the past several years since the game's release, there have been numerous free updates that added multiple features that have enhanced the combat system, added more customization, and actual online gameplay, bringing the game to a level close to what was initially promised. No Man's Sky is an interesting example of a trend that we see over and over again. A product that promises to deliver certain things just to not do that, only to eventually set out to correct its mistakes. All jokes aside, at the end of the day, Hello Games' marketing team, they were definitely less than honest. But I do think a small part of the blame does lie with us as the consumer. I mean, when an indie developer makes AAA promises, you should probably curb your expectations just a little bit. But with that being said, I have droned on long enough. If you guys like the sound of my voice, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay updated. Follow me on Twitter, link is down below, and I will see you around. This is AJ, signing out.